welcome back to the Pocket Dimension with Susie. This is a little safe space where we come into to get a little bit deeper in touch with who we are and how we can bring love to who we are. As I was preparing for this episode, I have a lot of different notes written down, and I did already several takes, but nothing really was jiving, and I started feeling a little bit of this frustration coming through. And then I realized this thought popping through is that the reason I created this channel is so that I can bring myself spontaneously into the moment to see what can be offered, and believing and trusting that whatever is desiring to come through is worthy to come through and is serving to at least one person. And that one person can be just me. And that's not only enough, it is valid, and it is exactly the point, because I count as somebody as well. And if I can receive the message and I really embody and take that in for whatever it is that I am saying, then this channel, this whatever it is that I am doing is worth it. And additional person or anyone else who sees value in the things that I say is just icing and extra icing and cherry on top of all of that. Because when it comes down to it, everything that we do and who we are and how we show up is all coming down to how we receive it first, how we are being with it, how we are loving it, or how we are not loving who we are. So the conversation, or the meat of this particular conversation, is allowing and accepting more trust in who you are and how you are showing up. And really trusting and believing and putting all your faith in that, even if you are not prepared, even if you don't have any agendas, that whatever you have to say and deliver, as long as you are in the core and center of your truth, and that is your beingness, and that beingness is coming through love, there is value there. And whatever it is that you have to say and do and be is beyond enough. And I'll give you an example. Just a few days ago, it was during the weekday, and my sister texted me and saying that her and her husband were in the neighborhood and they want us to stop by, and within 15 to 20 minutes. And me and my sister are very close, but this is the weekday, and weekday we're very efficient. So it's certain schedule with the kids, and we make very simple dinners, and then they go through the process. And during the weekday, the house is usually like a tornado. And even though me and my sister are very close, I was still feeling very anxious about her and her husband coming into the space when it's messy, when I don't know if I have enough food, when I don't know if I could whip something up for them. I don't need to do all of it, but it's our conditioning, it's my conditioning, that if someone is coming over to your home, that you have to be somewhat prepared to receive guests, even if it is your sister and his family. So as I was preparing I felt myself like rushing to do something, and then my family helped me tidy up a little bit. When they came, I was definitely still a little bit high strung, but I was also glad that they are there. Okay, and as the night unfolded, we had a lovely time. It was very casual. They had the food, and the house was tidier. Everybody came together to prepared. So they left, and at the end of the night, I was cleaning up, and I was really processing on how I was feeling and how I was responding to the whole thing. And what came down to me was like, wow, I am so grateful for the experience and how it unfolded for me. From the receiving the call, feeling myself sort of coming unravel, and feeling the frustrations and uncertainty coming through, and yet still acting through and receiving them as guests, I realized that I was complaining in my head that, oh, how she is inconsiderate and how she isn't mature to acknowledge that these kind of dropping in is inconsiderate and selfish. That's what I was thinking. And I realized at the end of the night that was the biggest gift for me. For her to show up in the way that they did, for me to see myself with the judgment that I placed on her, and then to also see, and this is where self-compassion comes in, that I was open to receive that, even though I was feeling not 100% aligned with it. I allowed the experience to unfold, and I allowed the beauty of the experience, which is experiencing her and her husband with us, our family, the time that we were having. That experience of togetherness was so wonderful, that broke down the wall for me of feeling this need to have the house more presentable and to make sure that I have enough food for them. Those two things needed to happen for me in the past in order for me to receive guests. And now, more than ever, I'm breaking down the wall. I could still clean up and I could still prepare, but it was far more important for me to receive them, to experience their love, for us to be together and enjoy the time together. That was far more important than a cleaner house or prettier table setup. So how that ties up to the moment is that when we show up in the moment as who we are through love and accepting and acting and being from that space, love could break down everything else for us. Love can bring the acceptance and the forgiveness and the compassion toward ourselves, which allows us to grow. So showing up here without any agenda, without any idea of what I will say, just stepping into love and trusting that what I have to say is enough, and trusting the story that I told has a gem in there for you because it did for me. So my reflection to you and my offering to you is that Make practice of showing up without any agenda, allowing this full rawness to come through, this spontaneity, this just showing up through love in your life is enough. And experience that for yourself, because it's a beautiful one. Because it is something that the more we practice to do, the more we naturally become. And the more we break down these ideas of being perfect, being unprepared, the more we allow that possibility of us just being who we are is the perfect place to be. And perfect place to show through. I hope that serves you well. My name is Susie, Suzii, 2 I's, because I believe the I in me sees the I in you. I love you and have a beautiful day.